Many high-level officials from local and federal agencies are together today and tomorrow to discuss how the military buildup will affect coral reefs on Guam, Saipan, and the rest of Micronesia. The U.S. Coral Reef Task Force pre-meeting is being chaired by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA. Coordinator Steve Thurr says aside from briefings, the Guam Coastal Management Program also planned numerous educational field trips while they are on island this weekend.
We'll be discussing what is planned for the military buildup, so informing our federal political appointees of that. They'll get to see some of that firsthand through 3 separate field trips this afternoon, and then we'll talk about mitigation options tomorrow.
Captain Peter Lynch, who is the commanding officer of the Naval Facilities Engineering Command, was one of the guest presenters for the task force's information briefing this morning. He went through an overview of the draft environmental impact statement, the final EIS, and the record of decision, and how that would affect the buildup task orders being awarded, including upgrades for Apra Harbor.
The awards of some of these task orders will happen relatively quickly after the ROD is signed. But the 2 projects that are going to be right first out of the gate are both design-build projects, and so there's a period of time that the detailed designs will be completed, and then the construction will start after that. Most of that initial work is on Apra Harbor. It's improvements to the Tango and Uniform wharfs, and then also the relocation of that military working dog kennel that I mentioned earlier.
Lynch also comments that the dredging of Apra Harbor was put on hold pending more studies, and that they are also working with the University of Guam on the matter. However, UOG professor Dr. Jason Biggs disagreed during the question and answer portion of the briefing, saying they weren't approached in that manner.
All they've approached for Marine Lab is they're asking for divers, and they won't sign an MOU, and they won't include any of our comments on the EIS. I don't see how that's transparent, and I don't see how that's involving the University of Guam and the new EIS of the Apra Harbor.
I'm going to have to defer that one to somebody that can answer the details on how that interaction's been going with the University of Guam.
Thank you for the question. As I said at the beginning, the intent for this meeting is a discussion amongst the members, and so while I appreciate the question, if I could ask you to approach Captain Lynch after the meeting, that would be most appropriate.
While issues with studying Guam's reefs clearly need to be ironed out, Guam Coastal Management Program Administrator Vanji Lujan says it's important the task force continues talking because that's the only way to understand what puts the reefs at risk.
It's quite intense, but we're very fortunate. We have a lot of federal agencies here that are open to how they can help Guam, and that's really what we want to make sure that people understand what our issues are, what are some of the holdups that we're having, and some of the capacity issues that we are in dealing with the buildup, but also dealing with coral reef management in general.
For more on the Coral Reef Task Force, log on to coralreef.gov. Josh Dikenko, PNC News.